Hello, welcome to another little Procreate video. I know how much you guys enjoy these, so today I am going to design and show you how I created this little room illustration. So I initially learnt this from a Skillshare tutorial, which I will leave linked in the description. I've worked with them in the past, but this video isn't sponsored. But if you want 2 months free, click that link, go for it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So I have collected a number of images from Pinterest and I came across this one which I really like the look of. So all I'm doing is I'm going in with a basic HP pencil which came with Procreate, and I'm gonna do a very rough sketch of sort of a room layout. So what I learned was kind of using different levels, so to try and make sure things weren't lined up too much. So as you can see, I'm sort of mirroring the idea of the room but changing things. So I downloaded the little, what is this, a bedside table, and then I switched up a couple of things on the shelf, and as you can see it's very messy at this point. There's no need to be neat when you're doing the sketch. That's what sketches are for. So yeah, I sort of added a few bits, added some pom-poms, a cushion, and now I'm lowering the opacity a little bit, and what I'm doing is turning on the drawing guide and then changing the grid size just so I've got some sort of strict lines to go off. I find it a lot easier to do flat images rather than like messing around with perspective, but I guess practice makes perfect. Maybe I'll do one of those videos one day. So now I'm on to the Narinda pencil, which is a little bit thicker, a little bit more solid. You'll see that it's darker when I'm drawing it. So all I did was create a new layer above the initial sketch layer, and what I've done is turned on something called assisted drawing, or drawing assist, I think. I always get that the wrong way around. But basically drawing assist means that you can only draw in straight lines. So, you know, in chess, there's some pieces that only go straight. Think of it like that. Drawing assist is like chess. I don't play chess though, so yeah, what I'm doing here is basically just doing all the pieces that have straight lines in it, because whilst I had that layer set to that mode, I thought, why not? So I'm just kind of going along. Then I didn't want straight lines, so I've created another new layer and we're going to just play around with the other parts. So yeah, oh, I've just said that and I've turned drawing assist back on. Let's just pretend I know what I'm talking about, eh? So yeah, straight lines, drew the books. Oh, I remember why I did this, so I could go back in and erase the photo frame behind the books. You'll see in a second, once I've done drawing the bed, that I like to erase things. The more layers the better usually, because if you make a mistake or if you want to move any objects around, you can without it like messing up the whole image. So yeah, at this point I'm just doing some straight lines, clicking and holding, doing the little rug on the bottom. I don't know when I go back up to these books. Am I going to go back up? I'm merging the layers together and I think I'm about to erase it. Come on, are you gonna do it? Yeah, there we go. That's why I did an extra layer, so I could erase the photo frame behind it to sort of gather the inspiration. Inspiration? Not what I meant. But yeah, if you are wanting a more in-depth tutorial of something like this or the basics of Procreate, this video is probably not for you, because obviously I have sped it up and I'm sort of brushing past a lot of stuff, but I do have a lot of other videos that involve me talking about the different tools and shortcuts and things that can make your process a lot easier. So I will leave a link to all my Procreate tutorials in the description and on the screen now, so if you want to add that to your watch list you can. But yeah, what I'm doing here is drawing the plant pot, and where there's anything that's sort of symmetrical, I'll usually copy the shape over. Yeah, so I'll show you that in a second, but once I've done the little like circle part of this watering can, which by the way, I want a watering can like this. Does anyone know where I can get one? Because I think that would look super cute in my office, and maybe that'd be a good excuse for my plants not dying if I actually have a watering can that I want to keep on my shelf. But yeah, if you are enjoying this video, please don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already and join my little creative family. I would love to have you listening to my rambles more than just this one video. So yeah, right, I have now moved on to the shelf, as you can see, so I'm just sketching things out again, doing the light bulb. A really cool little tip for Procreate is to click and hold when you draw a shape, and it sort of morphs it into a more streamlined shape. You can see here that I'm drawing lines, reflecting them over and then completing it myself just to save me trying to like perfectly match up the angles. A nice little scribble for the plants. I was like toying around with ideas for the headboard. If you look at the photo, you can see that it's sort of like curved and it was quite hard to draw, so I like ignored that and went back to it. I also changed the pillows and sort of improvised with these like bed spoke things. But yeah, I add them all on different layers and join them together. Added a cute little pom-pom cushion, you know, we love it. And then I'm going in and drawing the plant on the right hand side. I find plant drawing so difficult. I don't know why. Does anyone else? I'm still like learning the art of this. I decided to change the plant that was in the original image, and I found another photo on Pinterest. I think this could be a plastic plant, but they're my kind of plants. So yeah, I just sort of replicated that, kind of mismatched loads of the images together and made my own little scene, so it wasn't like an exact replica of the original. Alright, onto the colour. So what I'm doing is filling the entire background with the wall colour. Wow, I love being able to speak. And then I'm doing another fill layer, filling it with a different lighter shade and dragging that down, and you'll see that I'll do the same for the skirting board. So I will fill it with white and then drag it down, and then we'll go in to do the actual objects. I like to do the background first just so I've got a nice base to start with. And this colour palette, by the way, I just grabbed from Pinterest again. If you head to my Pinterest, I actually have a board on there that's all to do with colour palettes, and I've just sort of collected a bunch of different colour palettes that other people have made that I like the look of, and then usually I'm able to find one, so I just sort of found them and saved them in my swatch panel on the bottom row, and there we have it. I just kind of kept picking colours up from that. Right, so we've got the background. I can't remember what I'm doing first. Maybe the rug? Do I do the rug first? Can you tell I drew this like a couple of days ago before recording this voiceover? But what I've done is changed to the monoline pen. So again, just a basic pen that comes with Procreate. And as you can see, I'm creating a new layer for every single colour. That is super, super important at this stage. So the bed sheets have got a new layer, the pillows have got a layer, and the headboard thing has got a layer. Every single bit of this image has a different layer now. So yeah, I'm just drawing around everything. I'm turning on and off drawing assist because sometimes I want straight lines, sometimes I don't, using the eraser tool and just literally going around and outlining everything. I quite liked how I did this light bulb in the end. I've never drawn a light bulb. Actually, I very rarely have drawn room drawings. This is like my second proper go at them. So there are things that could improve on this, and there are definitely people out there that can do these a lot better, but I feel like these are a good kind of start point to learn it for yourself. And I didn't have any confidence in drawing rooms until I sort of followed the tutorial. So yeah, thanks for that tutorial. Like I said, I will leave that linked in the description. But what I'm doing now is copying and pasting the pom-poms. Duplicate is your friend. You can draw things, duplicate it, and use it for other parts to save you doing it. I do exactly the same with this leg. You'll see that I fill it in and then I'm copying it, flipping it over and moving it across, which just saves me having to try and draw it again. Yeah, so this is this. You'll see that I'm going to add different elements to it, and I end up drawing little details on the doorknobs and all that kind of jazz. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit, and I'll get back to you in a second. Alright, so we have everything coloured in pretty much. So now what I'm doing is creating a clipping mask. So I'm not going to go into clipping masks, I'm sure there's a lot of tutorials out there, but all I'm doing is creating a clipping mask to draw over different objects. So I decided I wanted the rug to have some sort of pattern to it, so I went for this super simple like line pattern thing, and because it's on a clipping mask it means it stays within the outline of the rug. Probably really confused you there. I've confused myself, so yeah, definitely Google that if you want to have a look at how to do clipping masks. They are time saving and great, and definitely something to look into if you want to get serious about drawing in Procreate and stuff. So yeah, I did the lines, and then I kind of go in and out of the image. You'll see me scrolling. I'm now doing the plant part, which I actually changed the colour of in the end, and the pattern. I made that layer a clipping mask, and then tried to decide what on earth to do in it. I don't know, I went back and forth with this a lot. I'm changing the brush tool, and I think in the end I went for like this weird squiggly thing. I can't really remember, but yeah, as you can see, because the clipping mask is on, it sort of stays within the lines, and I sort of gave up with that, so we're moving on. So yeah, again, clipping mask for the leaves. I changed my brush at this point to the Studio Pen tool. I love that tool a lot. Again, it's just a basic Procreate brush. It came with the app. I have very few downloaded brushes because I am lazy, so you can definitely draw like cool things with the basic ones. You don't have to pay loads of money for it. A lot of people actually ask me, is Procreate worth it? And I 1000% say yes. It cost me, I think, $9.99. I'm not sure if the price has changed, but that is so affordable, especially when you compare it to other applications like Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. Obviously this doesn't have all the capabilities of those two apps, but Procreate honestly is just great for drawing, and I think it's fun, and for a tenner you can't really go wrong. So yeah, whilst I've been babbling along, you can see they've added details. There's some details on the cushions, and I feel like with these drawings, the more details you add, the more realistic it looks. So I'm drawing on the books. I've added some dots to the plant part, the photo frame, the little throw on the end of the bed has now got some crisscrosses on it, you'll see when I zoom out. And yeah, I actually went in as well and added some texture. So you'll see I'm trying to pick a brush. I added texture on the bedding, I added texture on the wall, on the plant pot that I keep changing the colour of, and then inserted some text to do this print. I was trying to like mirror my own print. If you don't follow my print shop, I have a little stationery shop. I ship worldwide and I sell really cute prints. I'm biased, but I think they're cute, and you guys seem to think they are too, so definitely check out my print shop. That'll also be linked in the description. But yeah, you can kind of see the texture on the wall. Now I've zoomed in a little bit, just to kind of break things up and add a bit of differentiation, wow that was a big word, between the furniture and the wall. So yeah, going all out with the detail. I added this, which is kind of constellations, very rough, badly drawn ones, but they're there. That's all that matters. Added a few pom-poms, and that is the drawing finished. So I think if I spent more time on this, I could definitely improve it, as with everything, but I'm really happy with how this turned out, to say that it was one of my very first ones. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something from it. Don't forget to check out the links in the description for more videos and more information about me. And yeah, thanks for listening to me babble on. I'll see you soon.